But the holidays are upon us, right? So that's another interesting and exciting time for many, and for others it's a crazy time. So the first question is very much related to that, so I'll jump right into it. If you have any questions, please write them in the chat. I am more than happy to answer them live. If you're watching this on replay, no problem. Enter it in and I'll catch it next week and bring it in as a question. So I always look forward to hearing what's going on in your mind so that we can blow up these beliefs and constructs that are no longer serving us, or put new ones in that help us thrive and live our life's passion and purpose. So, all right, back to Thanksgiving. First question is, Thanksgiving can be a very challenging time getting together with family. There sometimes can be drama. How do I stay centered and be my best self during all the craziness? What a great question. I feel fortunate that my family doesn't give me as much drama when we're together, but I understand that drama is a really tough thing during the holidays, because everybody's bringing not only like the programming of their families, and they're all working with the same program with a different lens, right? So everybody's got their thing, and oftentimes the people that we love the most, we sometimes treat the worst, just meaning that we don't intend to, but we're a little bit more vocal, we're a little bit more edgy, we're not putting on our best face sometimes. So I think about, before you come into the Thanksgiving holiday, what it is that you want to feel. Don't think about like how you want the turkey to be, or the place settings to be, or the tradition and all of that. Those are all details. They're nice details, but that's where everybody gets in a tizzy, right? Like, well, I want to do this. No, I want to do that. Well, this is important. That's important. Think about how you want to feel when you're there. And for me, when I think about Thanksgiving, I think about just feeling supported. I think about feeling with family and community, whether it's my biological family or it's friend family, that we have great conversation, that we feel love, and that we all feel grateful for the holiday, and we feel grateful for being with each other. So whatever the feeling is that you want to feel when you go to Thanksgiving, spend a little time just sitting with yourself. And I like to journal it, because I think when we journal, it brings a level of focus to an intention. And so journaling really is, I think, a place to get the intention written down, and also to quiet your mind enough to think about what it is that you really want. Otherwise, sometimes it's like, oh yeah, okay, I'm thinking about what I want, but then we're doing like 10 other things. So just spend that quiet time really, really feeling into, what do I want to feel? And then think about what you might be able to do differently, or maybe the same as other years, to bring that feeling to everyone. How can you bring that to everyone else? And don't have any expectation of what you're going to get in return. Because oftentimes, we have big dreams and fantasies about what the holiday is going to look like and smell like and taste like, and it doesn't always work out that way. So let's get back to the little things and be in the gratefulness for having food on our plate, and for having clean water, and for having whatever it is that we have on our Thanksgiving Day specials. So finding the little things, finding the gratitude, and really being anchored in how you want to feel, I think is the best way that you can approach potentially what in the past may have felt like a lot of drama. And then just staying true to that, staying true to how you want to feel, and not letting someone else rock your boat. Okay, the next question is also very similar. It is, Thanksgiving is an opportunity. It's a time to spend time with loved ones. How can I take time during this busy holiday to connect on a deeper level? What's coming to me is, when you're approaching that holiday, maybe there's some things that you can suggest that people do in preparation. Maybe it's the same exercise that I just recommended, that you ask everyone to think about how they want to feel, and then bring that feeling to the holiday. But you also might want to say, hey, can we consider doing something unique and different this holiday? And maybe that is bringing to the table one thing that you're struggling with, and you would like support on from whoever is there during that Thanksgiving time. and one thing that is your superpower that you're just really proud of, and ask everyone else to do the same. I think, and if it's not at the dinner table, it might be at a, like, let's have a pre-drink round table, or maybe a post-dinner, aperitif or something. And you actually ask people to bring one thing that they're struggling with and one thing that you think is your superpower. Because what we might find is, number one, that we had no idea that a loved one is actually struggling with something because they're not telling us. And this might just be that prompting that they need to just share what it is. Now, I say that, and I also would like to just add that maybe you put some parameters around it, that like the share is only going to be like, 5 minutes or something. I mean, I don't like to put time frames on it, but we also don't want it to like spiral the whole group into like a crazy place either. So we don't want someone to go on and on and on about what they're struggling with, but just like come with something that's like really succinct, like, here's what I'm struggling with. And maybe it is that I'm single this holiday again. And I love being here with all of you, but I'd really like to have a significant other by my side. And I'm struggling with that. And being vulnerable and sharing that with the group that you're with, I think can just bring, so much more love and support back to you. And not that, yeah. Okay. So that's one. And then share your superpower, because your superpower might be something that helps someone else's struggle, right? And so maybe your struggle is, I really need someone to help me make changes to my website. Like, maybe that's your struggle, right? Maybe it's not an emotional struggle. Maybe it's just like a logistical struggle. And maybe somebody sitting around the table is like, oh my gosh, I do that, or my best friend does that, or whatever. And it could be a close family member, and you just didn't know that they had that skill set. So I think bringing that to the table would be really, really great. One struggle and your superpower. One superpower. I'm sure you have many. So hopefully that's helpful to help the dynamic and to bring some fun into the conversation. One other thing comes to mind, actually, is this one's a bit of can be a rough one. So you'd have to feel into whether this really works for you. But maybe this is when everybody's really comfortable with each other, and maybe you've already had some vulnerable moments. But one of the exercises that I had happen at a friend's house was, they said, okay, we're going to go around and everybody share one thing that you don't want anyone else to know. And it was like, and you're asking me to share this? Excuse me. And we did. And I found it to be really a beautiful sharing. And so, that could be something that you use during the holidays as well. But usually people are less apt to want to get into that kind of discussion unless you already know that it's a safe space, right? So that's really important to make sure that if you're going to approach something that deep, that you have a safe space. So that's just another side note as to how you might go about making the holidays a little bit more conscious and connected.